All right, Unit 1 test review. Here's the key. For questions 1 and 2, identify all key features. Unit 1, we should be familiar with that, but let's talk about the domain. Domain is how far left, how far right. Always start with how far left it goes. And you can see this goes to -5, open circle. So it'd be -5 with the parentheses because it doesn't get there. And then it goes all the way. See the go, -4. Does it get there? It does. So -4. And so if it doesn't have an open circle, you can assume that it gets there. And then how high does it go? It gets up to 1. That's the ceiling if you want to think of it that way with a bracket. What's the x-intercept? Well, that's right there. So that would be 2, 0. What's the y-intercept? That'd be right there, 0, -2. You can remember when they're talking positive, negative, increasing, decreasing, you're supposed to talk domain talk. So keep that in mind, which means your x's only. So where is it positive? Well, how far left does it go? But that dot is above the x-axis, and that's not true, so that's parentheses. And then it will stay above the x-axis forever, so that'd be infinity. Where is it negative? Negative is anywhere under the x-axis, spoken in domain talk. So how far left is it under the x-axis? Circle, also parentheses, because that dot is not below the x-axis, it's on the x-axis. Where is it increasing? Well, increasing, I'm going to make yellow from here to here. It just means as you move left to right, it's going up. So left going up. So that'd be from here. How far left is that? -2. All the way to here, which is 3. So that pink. So decreasing would be right here only. So that would be from -5 with parentheses, open circle, all the way to there, which is 2. Remember, we're talking x talk only. So how so that would be a parentheses, and that's very significant. All right, let's try number 2, domain. How far left does it go? Same thing, -5. Whoopsie, well, I'll do it in set notation. And then how far to the right does it go? Well, because this is an arrow, it means infinity. So there's your set notation. Where's the range? Well, how low does this go? It gets to -4. So I'm going to start with brackets, -4. And then how high does it go? It goes up to 1. That's the ceiling, and it gets there. So that would be y is greater than or equal to -4, less than or equal to 1. This means bracket. Y-intercept, it's right there, 0, -1. Where is it positive? We'll stick with these colors. Positive would be right here to here. So, remember, this is all x talk, which means domain talk. So how far left is it above the x-axis? Well, there's two sections of negative. Negative would be from here to here, and also from here to here. So because we know there's two sections, there's going to be a little u, which means there's one answer and another section. This to 1, and it picks back up again at 3, so x is greater than 3, and then it stays negative forever, so less than infinity. And there we go. Where's it increasing? Well, this, I'll go with the same color, yellow, from here to here. So remember, this is x talk. So it's increasing from negative 3, well, decreasing means down. Again, there's two sections. There's two sections of decreasing. So, whoopsie, I'm cutting the picture. I apologize for that. Where's it decreasing? It's decreasing from negative 5. So x is greater than negative 5. That's saying that's how far left this little section goes. X is greater than 2, and it goes on forever, and so there's where it's decreasing. So that's a lot of information for the first two problems. This will be a lot easier. It says find the average rate of change. Don't forget, guys, that's just a simple way of saying slope, and you can use this formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or change using graph 1, that means this one, where x is negative 2, and they're saying find y, and x is 3, find y. Well, if x is negative 2, that matches with this point right here, so it's negative 2, negative 4. Well, maybe I'll just use this formula because it's sitting right there. I'm going to make that x1, y1. I'll make this x2, y2. Plug it in this formula. I lied. I'm not going to use the picture. So y2 is 1. y1 is negative 4. Careful with that. x2 is 3. So my rate of change is 1. Now, how could I have made that easier? Well, you could see the picture. Up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. Tongue twister. Over. What's y? X is 4. Whoopsie. X is 4. What's y? Well, that means find your points. So let's find where x is negative 1. X is negative 1 corresponds with that y, which is negative 2. X is 4, and it corresponds with that point, negative 1, right? That 4 corresponds with that point, and we could just use our eyeballs. Rise is 1, run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be a positive 1 over 5. But this point would be 4, negative 1. Over x sub 2 is 4 minus a negative 1. That's negative 1 plus 2, which is 1. 4 minus a negative 1 is 5. So either way works. All right, this will move a lot faster. State the transformations. Well, this is left 3, down, up 5. This says graph the function g as a reflection of the graph of f across the given axis, across the x-axis. So give me a second. Here, and there we did it. We did it over or across the x-axis. This says over the y-axis, so it's saying flip it over that. So this green part right here and then if I flip this piece over the y-axis, that point is -5 would go here. That point right there is 3, -2. So -3, -2 would go here. And then I just kind of duplicate that, and I think that does the job. I flipped it over the y-axis. For this domain, so I gotta remember this is a line, so I only need 2 points. So I'm gonna start with -3, but that's an open circle because of the less than. Plug it in, that's -6 plus 5, which is -1. And I'm gonna pick, because it's less than -3, I'm gonna go -4. I know I only need one other point. That'd be -8 plus 5 is -3. So there's my first piece. -3, -1, so 1, 2, 3, -1, open circle, be careful with that, and then -4, 1, 2, 3 is just another one, and then there it just goes on forever. Let's go to this one. Y equals -x minus 2 in this domain. Now I'm going to use the left point, and it's a closed circle, so it's -3 with a closed circle, and then 1 with an open circle. So -3, the opposite of -3 is 3, minus 2 is 1. -1 minus 2 is -3. So I'm going to start with this point, -3, 1, 2, 3, 1, closed circle, 1, -3, 1, 2, 3, and then that actually is an open circle. I almost filled it in, and that's just a segment because we've got restrictions on our domain. The final one, y equals x minus 3, for this, x is greater than or equal to 1. So we're going to start with 1, filled in circle. What's greater than 1? 2. What's 1 minus 3? -2. What's 2 minus 3? -1. So we start with this one, 1, -2, filled in, and then 2, -1, right there, and then that goes on forever. And there's your piecewise function right there. All right, write the rule that defines the function. So we see we have two graphs. So it's going to be f of x equals, we're going to make one of these guys. We're going to have one equation with one domain. We're going to have another equation with another domain. Now maybe we can look at this domain first. You can see that x, if you want to think of it this way, is -1, -2, so it starts at -2 and is less than -2. That's the domain of that graph. And then I look at this guy. Starts, it looks like they're trying to fill that in. So 1, 2. So I can see that is x is greater than or equal to -2. Now what's the equation of this line? Well, it's a horizontal line. So its name is y equals -2. So I just put -2 there. This guy's got a little slope. Down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1. Or we could go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. So either way, the slope of that line is a +1. So I know that the equation is going to be y equals m x. Now I got to find the y-intercept. How am I going to do that? Well, this is awfully bad, so I'm going to just go like this and hopefully it works out. Up one, right one, up one, right one. There's my y-intercept if it was to continue. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a little typo there. I hope that didn't confuse you. All right. One more and we'll stop this video. Actually, I have an appointment, so I need to leave for it. We'll start back up. Hopefully that first chunk you're confident with.